We've had a lot of surprises so far with the transfer portal. One of the bigger surprises came a few days ago as USC quarterback Malachi Nelson entered. When he signed with USC last December out of Los Alamitos, Malachi Nelson was viewed as the natural heir apparent to Caleb Williams. He was a 5-star recruit and was considered to be one of the top quarterbacks, if not the top quarterback of his class. Caleb Williams is likely leaving for the NFL draft, opening up the starting quarterback spot at USC for the 2024 season. For now, it'll be Miller Moss who starts at quarterback for USC in the Holiday Bowl later this month. The Trojans have just one other scholarship quarterback on the roster in Jake Jensen, a redshirt sophomore who has never taken a snap. If you've been following USC closely over the last month, I guess this news doesn't really come as a total shock. Head coach Lincoln Riley made clear earlier this month that he intended to look around for quarterbacks in the transfer portal. Here's what he said a couple weeks ago. "My goal right now is to always have multiple guys in the room that you feel like are starter level guys that you feel like can really compete." In recent weeks, former Kansas State quarterback Will Howard has been gaining a lot of steam to end up at USC. I guess the Trojans are focused on bringing him in, which would mean Malachi Nelson likely wouldn't be the starter in 2024. So he thought now would be the best time to transfer out and see what opportunities are out there. Before we get to the rest of today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. It hadn't exactly been an easy adjustment at USC for Malachi Nelson, who arrived on campus shortly after undergoing shoulder surgery. The injury slowed his early progress, opening up the door for Moss to seize the backup quarterback job outright during the spring. Nelson, who signed as the number 13 overall recruit in the 23 class, briefly played late in USC's season opener against San Jose State. He completed only one pass for 0 yards, and he didn't appear in a game the rest of the way. Nelson originally committed to Oklahoma when Lincoln Riley was still the head coach, but once Lincoln Riley left for USC, Nelson followed less than 24 hours later. At the time, Nelson and his family were thrilled at the idea of the quarterback staying close to home. Lincoln Riley was asked earlier in December about what the pursuit of a transfer quarterback meant about his outlook of the former 5-star recruit. He admitted it hadn't necessarily been the smoothest of years for Malachi Nelson. Malachi is obviously a young guy. He's got a world of talent. He's working hard. He's had a few physical hurdles he's had to overcome. He's certainly going to get there and certainly has a bright future and has battled for a lot of things. So we're eager to get him back completely healthy and back to where he's developing on a really fast track. And I don't think he's that far away from it, but that's still been a little bit of a process. Things are going to get really interesting for the Trojans after the Will Howard era, again assuming they land the former Kansas State quarterback. USC doesn't have a quarterback recruit committed in either its 24 or 25 class. Julian Lewis, the number 1 overall recruit in the 2026 class, is currently pledged to the Trojans, but he isn't slated to sign for another 2 years, so as we all know, anything can happen over those years. Malachi's father, Eric Nelson, talked with 24/7 Sports about his son's decision to enter the transfer portal. "It was very tough. Lincoln first started recruiting Malachi when he was just a freshman. That's the coach he always wanted to play for, and USC was his dream school as well. He chose Oklahoma originally because of Lincoln, and when he was hired at USC, it was truly the best of both worlds for us." Nelson was quick to say that there are no hard feelings towards USC or towards Lincoln Riley. "I still consider Lincoln a friend. He's a great guy. We have nothing but respect for him and the USC program and wish them nothing but the best." This was something that Malachi felt convinced about and something we as a family prayed over. There are definitely no hard feelings though, and we'll always have nothing but love for Lincoln and that program. His father added that the phone lines had been very active over the last couple days since Malachi entered the portal, and he's hoping to narrow things down very soon. "We've heard from over 50 schools so far, some big, some small, and it's been a blessing that so many are interested in Malachi. This decision is probably even more important the second time around, so we're definitely doing our due diligence right now. The plan is to try and narrow things down to 5 by this weekend. Then in January, when the live period opens back up, we would like to take at least 3 official visits and then pick a school cool. Before we get to the rest of today's video, I'd like to share with you guys how you can win money during the college football season. I've partnered with Underdog Fantasy to bring you this amazing deal. If you download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code Harris, they'll match your first deposit up to $500. Yep, they're giving you up to $500 of free money. I've had a lot of success this season with college football and with the NFL, and you can do the exact same with Underdog Fantasy. So make sure to use promo code Harris for a 100% deposit match up to $500. You can also sign up using the link in my description as well. According to On3.com, Nelson and his camp have had early conversations with Tulane, TCU, South Carolina, Houston, and Cal. I'm sure there's been a lot more, but those are the notable ones that were mentioned in the article. I think not just for us, but a lot of people back in high school, you can get caught up in how big a school is or how big their brand is. I'm dead serious when I say we really don't care how big a school, if they're a blue blood or not. We're just looking for the best all-around fit where Malachi can come in and compete for a starting spot in the spring. Not asking for guarantees, but just a chance to be a day one starter, to lead a program, win a championship, be a leader, and do all the right things on and off the field. Some schools have reached out that we know aren't realistic for different reasons, and it's funny too. There are some schools that are interested to us that we never even had conversations with back when Malachi was in high school. It's humbling, and like I said, we're grateful. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have a clearer picture and can move forward accordingly. Earlier this year, The Athletic's Max Olson wrote about quarterback transfers and cited this stat. If a top 50 quarterback signee from the classes of 2017 through 2020 did not start a game within their first 2 years of college, 87% of the time they'll end up leaving their program. Nearly half of the top 50 quarterback signees from the 22 class have already transferred, so this sort of thing is going to become a lot more common. Nelson was the third string quarterback this past season, and if USC does add Will Howard, he'll likely not start next year, barring an injury, so the writing was clearly on the wall. It's going to be interesting to see what the transfer market is like for Malachi Nelson. There are already a number of programs who have added quarterbacks via the portal this offseason. There are also a number of quarterbacks who have yet to transfer that are way ahead in the pecking order. So what are your thoughts on Malachi Nelson entering the transfer portal? Do you think that USC should have rolled with him next season, or are they making the right call by likely bringing in former Kansas State quarterback Will Howard? Also, where do you think Nelson ends up? Which program do you think would be a great fit for him? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you have an idea for a video you'd like to see in the coming days or coming weeks, drop a comment down below and it could be featured as my next video. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all off season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you call yourself a college football fan, this is definitely the place for you. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video.